Pandemic COVID-19. COVID-19 origins. COVID-19 originated from Wuhan, a city in China, which is famously known for its animal market. It is believed to have zoonotic origins and has close genetic similarity to bat coronaviruses. The virus shows a little genetic diversity, indicating the spillover event introducing the COVID-19 to humans is likely to have occurred in late 2019. Symptoms of COVID-19 include fever, cold, loss of taste, loss of smell, dizziness, rashes, cardiovascular and blood clotting issues. Effects of COVID-19 can be divided into four categories. That is, number 1, healthcare, number 2, economic, number 3, social, and number 4, general public. Healthcare. Challenges in diagnosis, quarantine, and suspected or confirmed cases. High burden of the functioning of the existing medical system. Patients with other diseases or problems are getting neglected. Overload on doctors and other medical professionals who are at very high risk. Overloading of medical shops. Requirement of high protection. Disruption of medical supply chain. Not enough medical staff to attend to the positive patients. These are the impacts of COVID-19 on the healthcare system of India. Economic. Decrease in GDP of the country. Slowing of manufacturing of essential goods. Disrupted chain of products. Losses in national and international business. Poor cash flow in the market. Significant slowing down in the revenue growth of the country. Social. Service sectors not being able to provide their proper services. Cancellation or postponement of large-scale sports and tournaments. Avoiding of national and international travel and cancellation of services. Disruption of celebration of cultural, religious, and festive events. Undue stress among the population. Social distancing with our peers and family members. Closure of hotel, restaurants, and religious places. Closure of places for entertainment and sports club. Postponement of the exams. General public. Deterioration on mental health and well-being. Loss of jobs. People are suffering financially. Lack of trust. People are unable to do social gatherings. The studies of students are suffering. The average employment reduced from an estimate 404 million during 2019-2020 to 396 million in March 2020. In April, it came down to 228 million, 122 million estimated job losses. The small traders and wage laborers category lost more than 9 million jobs in April 2020 compared to 2019-2020 average. A significant number of salaried workers too lost their jobs. According to CMIE, while the small traders, which include the hawkers, may return to work after the lockdown, the salaried workers will find it difficult to get their jobs back. 18 million people are estimated to have lost employment in April 2020. The average count of entrepreneurs was 78 million in 2019-2020. This fell to 60 million in April 2020. CMIE said in its report the large-scale loss of employment among the business people is an indication that loss during the lockdown is not limited to just jobs but also to the enterprises. The chart plots the unemployment against labor participation rate as of April 2020 across states. Tamil Nadu is among the worst hit with a very high unemployment rate. In the 2 weeks following the lockdown that began on March 24, the estimated share of unemployment in India has reached a peak. The overall unemployment rate in India as measured by the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, showed a sharp increase in the 2 weeks following the lockdown. Notably, the overall labor participation rate recorded a drastic decrease to 36.1% on April 5 from about 42% 2 weeks back. The migrant exodus that followed the lockdown resulted in urban unemployment rate, represented by the blue line in the following chart, crosses 30% mark by April 5. While the effect was relatively lower in rural areas, the unemployment rate represented by the red line crossed the 20% mark. Since 2016, the rural rate crossed the 12% mark only once, that is January 31, 2016. The graph plots the overall unemployment rate as of March 2020 vertical axis against the change since March 2019 figures horizontal axis across 28 states and union territories for which the numbers were available. In this chart, you can see the number of corona cases per day along with the dates and months in which they took place. In this pie chart, you can see that how the coronavirus disease affected the students' life and how their studies are suffering. The physical effects on those infected and the mental trauma and the fear which almost everyone faces. The fear of not knowing how this pandemic is going to play out in terms of economic, physical, and mental well being.